Yes, guys, welcome back and happy Sunday to you all. Guys, we have got an analysis and a half tonight. We're going to be focusing on the Australian dollar and gold, guys, with market AI. Look at this, guys. We already trade institutional supply and demand levels. We already had an extra edge in the market. This is going to give us an even better edge in the market now, guys. It's another confluence. And honestly, there's nothing out there that comes close to this. Every Sunday, we do our analysis on forexfactory.com, and it just gives us a brief breakdown of major news events next week. With this, we can deep dive right into the guts of what runs stuff, basically, guys. And we got a Trump tracker. How many times have we looked at Forex Factory on our weekly analysis Trump ain't on there, and he just makes appearances out of nowhere. We got Trump tracker. You wait, he'll just pop up out of nowhere next week. He'll just say, right, Peru, you got 50% tariff on coconuts now. Oh, great. Well, now at least we can see him coming a little bit. We can anticipate it a little bit more, guys. We have a Trump tracker. We've got currency market summary, so the raw futures data, guys, of the currencies. US dollar bullish, euro bearish, British pound neutral. We've got central bank events coming up next week. And this is the economic calendar, guys. This economic calendar, this is Forex Factory on steroids times 100, basically. Forex Factory doesn't give you half of this. You can just go on. Well, first of all, what we'll do, guys, we'll see what major red events we got next week, okay? Because it is late here in the UK now, and I know I sound like Darth Vader, guys. I've got a bit of a case of the man flu, and I feel like I've been hit by a double-decker bus. But we ain't going to let that affect our analysis. So, DAX news, Tuesday, guys, 8:30 in the morning. We got news for the DAX, Euro. They'll both be impacted the same, guys. British pound, we got SMP news. Per Mexican peso. See, guys, Forex Factory would be showing this. Do you know what I mean? US dollar, SMP manufacturing PMI, global services PMI, guys, for the US dollar. What a bit of kit this is, guys. It's just neat, it's clean, it's tidy. Australian dollar news, monthly consumer price index. Swiss franc news, that's going to be interesting because obviously we're pretty much all-time highs on the Swiss franc with ridiculous gaps to the downside. So weakness in the Swiss franc next week, guys. Guys, this is insane. Let's just go down and click on the Australian dollar. See what this is tonight. So the event significance. This speech is crucial as it's going to set the tone for the monetary policy in Australia, impacting decisions on future rate interest cuts. So this is, how can we dissect this information from market AI into the chart and with institutional supply and demand levels? I will show you and we'll go through it. The market expectations. The market anticipates a cautious tone from Bullock, with the expectations that the RBA may maintain current interest rates and inflation concerns, reflecting stability in the economic outlook. So, bullish sentiment potentially. Impact. Yeah, if it's higher than forecast, the currency bullish, equities bearish, gold bearish. That is wicked. If we go on to, where was it? Yeah, the COT report, guys. It will also tell us net positions on the Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar market bearish, sentiment increasingly bullish, which makes complete sense. Oh, that's gold. Makes complete sense because we're coming from high time frame supply and we're entering weekly demand, guys. Yeah, that makes complete sense. This is the edge that we need in the market, guys. I would have been positioning myself in these demand zones anyway, but now I've got this bit of kit that's saying increasingly bullish, and it's it updates every second. It doesn't sleep. This bit of ingenuity. um, I feel very confident for a bullish Australian dollar for next week, guys. Makes sense. It's a new weekly candle, so we're going to get some follow through from the weekly. We've come down hard, so we will get some follow through. And then, yeah, that'll be the bottom wick created, and away we go, guys. So, Australian dollar, US dollar longs, that would be next week. All right, guys? Cool, cool. Shall we have a look at the candle analysis on gold? Let's have a look at the candle analysis on gold, guys. Now, is there anything else out there that does this? Let's have a look at this big candle here, see what information it gives us. What happened? Gold extends post-Fed rate cut. Consolidation above key support. Gold consolidating after Fed 25 BP rate cut and cautious guidance. Technical structure remains bullish with higher lows and support at 365, 360, which, yeah, it's right. No major economic data or geopolitical headlines during the move. The market is awaiting further Fed clarity. So that all makes complete sense, guys, for what we've got coming next week in terms of the news. Yeah, does that make sense? Next week, we're obviously at all-time highs, guys, on gold, and we have created supply now. There is supply, but I wouldn't put all your chickens in one basket in this supply now. With what market AI is saying, and if I go to where was it? The COT reports, metals. Well, look at that on gold, guys. Net position is 266,000. We've got COT reports. We don't have it on the chart version on TradingView. We've got it here in front of us. Look at gold, the market bullish, sentiment increasingly bullish. What have we been saying about silver? We've been saying silver's going to be getting bearish, and look, market AI is telling us that silver is going to be increasing bearish over the next week, guys. This is awesome. Palladium. Let's have a look at palladium and dissect it from an institutional supply and demand standpoint. Palladium, that's platinum, palladium. Market AI, palladium, increase 100%. Bearish. We got gaps to fill. And then when we get down to this demand level, guys, we'll go on market AI, and I bet you palladium will be increasingly bullish. The closer we get to these demand levels, guys, we will always cross-reference with market AI, and it will be saying we're increasingly bullish. That is awesome. What an edge in the market we've now got, guys. What a bit of kit this is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Like the economy, interest rates, CPI, unemployment rates, retail sales, consumer sentiment index, GDP, services PMI, S&P global PMI. Look, markets are active in these parts of the world. How cool is this? That must be the ocean. That is awesome, guys. Right, guys, we are going to just finish doing our analysis as normal now, or else we'd be there all evening. We could just go on and on and on about it. That market AI just gives us a ridiculous fundamental edge in the market. That alongside institutional supply and demand, we're laughing, guys. We're absolutely laughing. So US dollar, guys, we're going to continue seeing strength next week. I'm in the Euro USD, guys, shorts, as you all know. My long-term target, guys, is a bit ridiculous, really, but I'm a swing trader. My long-term target is a gap all the way down here. I mean, I like how last week's weekly candle closed on the Euro USD, guys. It closed like, well, I'm surprised it ain't bearish, if I'm honest. You know what I say? We're going to get some follow through. So next week, we're going to definitely get some follow through for Euro USD, guys, to the downside. Guys, gold, I mean, just chill with gold. Obviously, yeah, get in some buy positions if you can, but I wouldn't get in buy positions all the way up here. Wait for pullbacks. Wait for pullbacks into this demand as a rally-based rally. British pound. So the British pound, guys, we're in no man's land, middle of nowhere. We've come from higher time frame supply, guys. We're dropping down into demand, and it's very strong untouched demand, guys. But I do believe, yeah, we do have a gap in it as well. So next week, remember, market AI says we're neutral. How mad is that? We're literally neutral because we're in the middle of nowhere. That's wicked. See what I mean? How this is lining up with institutional supply and demand levels, guys. It's class. Yeah. So bearishness potentially next week to get this gap fill, and then some strength to come for the British pound, guys. Euro, Japanese yen, all-time highs. I don't think, guys, that we're gonna get. I wouldn't short Euro Japanese yen, guys. To be honest, we're coming up with a lot of power. All right, we've not had any form of major pullback as such. Well, we're pulling back in this particular candle, but what I mean is we haven't had any sort of major structural pullback as such. We're just sort of meandering up really, really slowly, and the pullback's like the speed of a slug, yeah, slow. So guys, Euro Japanese yen trade ideas, not really any at the moment. British pound Swiss franc, guys, re-entries. You know what, I've been looking at this and I have been scratching my head thinking, yeah, this has got some potential, the only thing is, I talk about market structure a lot, guys, don't I? And what I'll do is highlight this because we've broken this demand zone now. This demand zone has been broken. We've also broken this structure. It's minor, but like really minute, but we've broken the structure now. So we could get a move down to these lows here, guys. We do have a lot of British pound news next week, and I will be looking at market AI the whole time, seeing how I can get myself positioned for buy positions on the British pound Swiss franc. But I just want to be mindful, though, that when we do drop down into this demand and down into these levels, that below us is basically an abyss, a black hole. There's nothing below us. So we need to be mindful of that. We don't want to be entering a buy position, having a stop loss all the way down here, getting caught out, and then just jumping back in because price could literally, just keep going. And considering the Swiss franc is at all-time highs with gaps and such and so forth. Oh, we have dropped a little bit to fill this gap. Yeah, I would like to say we would get this gap fill next week on the Swiss franc, guys, for sure. Yeah, for sure. The US dollar, Swiss franc, guys, longs, some real nice long-term positions here. Weekly, tapped in nicely. Nice strength. Surprised again that didn't start turning bullish. So we'll get some follow through next week on the next week candle, guys. So yeah, US dollar, Swiss franc. Long ideas, I like it. Just remember, guys, this isn't financial advice, all right? This is just my own personal point of view of the markets. These are ideas that I take myself, US dollar, Mexican peso. Yeah, I like the longs. I like the longs. They're not ready yet, but I do like the longs. I mean, we're not here. We're not reacting off of anything. So don't go thinking any buy positions yet. We do still have room to the downside. So just be mindful of that, guys, from a high time frame perspective. But yeah, US dollar, Mexican peso, long term bullish from my perspective, guys. The DAX, Ugh, I don't like that. Don't like the price action. Yeah, guys, I don't know if I like this DAX at the minute. I know I said I did like it, but it's like a bit of a love-hate relationship at the moment with me and this old girl here. Yeah, we're sideways anyway. We come out of the sideways consolidation. Now we've ended up back in it again, and we're just doing exactly what we did last week. Yeah, so we do have Market AI said that we got German news coming up next week, and let's see what happens. Hopefully, it gets us out of this flipping range. Oh God, honestly, I'm writ off. I am. Right, crude oil. Let's have a look at crude oil now on. No, it was on there. Where's crude oil? Increasingly bullish. Net position. Oh, wicked. Guys, what have I just clicked? Look at how cool is this? Long short ratios, open interest. We are getting increasingly bullish on crude oil, guys. We are. So if I back to COT report. Right, so yeah, crude oil bullish, increasingly bullish. Crude oil. Yeah, to be honest, it does make sense because we are in this major demand zone. So even though, yeah, it's increasingly bullish, we could have a wick down, fill this gap, and then, yeah, pull away we go. Like, guys, that is pretty cool. So, yeah, hopefully next week we get the wick in, get our buy orders, and we pull away, guys. So next week, crude oil longs on the cards. Silver, all-time highs. Short, potential short idea. That week he's very strong. We need to wait for some. We need to wait for some dancing around, guys. With silver, to be honest with you, we need to wait for some dancing. Let's have a look at some agriculturals. Coffee, guys. Coffee. We got really stung, didn't we? We got stung by coffee last week, and it's a bit annoying that it happened. Really, it is a bit annoying that it happened. Because it went up, took us out, and then went down. But look at the gap that we've opened. But the thing is, I don't really. My whole idea was the gap fill here, but it went higher. And yeah, I don't think we're going to get that gap fill. I think coffee's just going to continue to melt, really, because it's come down with a lot of power, guys. So yeah, coffee, I'm just going to stay out of it for next week. Yeah, just going to stay out of coffee for next week, guys. Guys, to be honest, I feel really, really rough. I'm probably not going to do much more tonight because it's late, and I want to go chill. But I'll do an update. I'll do a better update in the week. All right, I will. I know tonight we focused on market AI a lot, which I plan to do it because I'm excited. I'm excited to be using such a cool bit of kit, and it definitely is going to help us in the long term. So if it felt that it was a bit rushed actually doing the analysis, guys, I didn't want it to come across that way. I want to chill, try and get a bit of an early night really. But then we'll smash it next week, and I'll get some midweek updates in, and have no fear, guys. We'll sort it out. But guys, have a good week. Have a positive week. Let's absolutely smash it, and I will speak to you in a week. Cheers.